In the city of Pont Vide, a hero, well, maybe anti-hero, a legend of sorts, with a past, especially here in West Linya, whose family has a long storied past here. A family feud, if it were, but you have won out the family feud. Your ally has taken Cranagris, has become Kaiser Cersei. You have reclaimed a position of power in the town of Pont Vide. For over 100 years now, you have been sort of a governor of this town, and with your mythic ability, because you are a mythic, have attained a longevity not known to most humans. Still growing older, weaker, frailer, still susceptible to disease and death if someone attacks you, but you are wealthy and powerful, and so are able to control most of those things. You control some of the most powerful weapons on West Linya, and you are a great and powerful oracle in your own right, as you were when you were a traveling hero, in quotation marks, a legend. The stories about you, you were a traveling oracle. And now you're more of a stationary oracle, old man oracle, Harlock Spachimin. Over the past 150 years, you have seen a lot of your family die through either mishap or on purpose, sometimes at your hands or at the hands of other enemies of your family. But the numbers of your family have died down. The ranks have grown slim. You're down to one remaining relative, one remaining descendant, who resides in Oestra, the city that your ancestors founded whenever your family feud began. Well, you live alone, but you have access to own scrying crystal, access to all these weapons, access to your own private mansion, residence, servants. You can do whatever you want, really, because you're rich and powerful. But you still spend a lot of time oracling, seeing what's, checking your balls, especially because Cersei a lot of times asks you to, because you're checking your balls. You're more adept at that skill, and sometimes it's nice to have two pairs of eyes on things, So you were oracling. You helped Cersei oracle the beginning of the next game, setting up who you guys chose for the egg. So you helped in that process, although Cersei, makes a lot of her own calls. That's the way Cersei is. But you gave Cersei information as needed. You scry on a lot of your old allies and enemies occasionally, although a lot of them have things to prevent that, or a lot of times have the ways to notice when you do it, so you don't do it as often for your formerly good allies, probably. But you can. And you scry on your one remaining family member who you are worried is one day going to kill you because you're paranoid and because you're an oracle and you has been foretold. But you also can't kill this one remaining ancestor. But you watch them intently because something is about to happen. There's people that might advise you, but you can take their advice or not. It's kind of your call. They don't.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I'd want to meet with them. And do they know about my granddaughter, the council?
They probably know as much as you tell them. But you probably don't talk about family as much as you do tactics and more. I mean, the wars ended a while back. So you guys are in sort of a Cold War stance now, things are at a standstill, you don't attack the East. I mean, if you want to call a war council, you can even bring Vanya in, stuff like that, or a representative of Vanya.
I have a feeling I wouldn't trust, I would want to find out more if she's trying to, take over power. I think as Harlock, I would want to write her a letter, explaining who I am. Let her know that I'm on my last leg.
An official letter from Great Grandpa.
I've never met you before, technically. Shit, I don't know if they want to meet or not. Let her know that, I'd like to meet her, I guess, before my passing.
Something official so that if she wants to come see you in the mansion, she could get in, maybe get acceptance, or at least...
Yeah, we've been distant for so long.
You want to make amends.
At least meet you for my last legs packed.
Yeah, and you just want to send one of your servants with it once you seal it with your official seal and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How do you want to send it, by horse, by pigeon?
I don't know, I wouldn't say raven, but some kind of bird.
Meanwhile, simultaneously in heroic retirement, Chasnoff, the great, Chasnoff the wise, Chasnoff, master of the door, inheritor of the ring of the Door Lord, a great gnome and legend in his own right of times past, also now more aged, although being a gnome aged much slower than humans, so while 150 years has passed for you, you are aging slower than most gnomes and have a longer lifespan than Harlock Spachimin, so you probably feel young and spry, but have somehow ended up in a gnome retirement home in the Feywild. You've retired there for your own safety. Because of your exploits on the material plane, you've attracted the attention of a lot of demons. You've signed a lot of contracts that have gone awry. You've got a lot of enemies coming after you. There's even a wraith on your trail. So every time you return to the material plane, you risk an encounter with one of those forces, which could still end your life. Although you're very mythical and powerful and a legendary and a hero over 100 years, right? You could still die. Everyone knows you could die. So, you hide out in this retirement home with several other gnomes of legendary note. Legendary glass blowers, crafters of all sorts, legendary chair makers, a legendary gamer. All the gnomes that have ever made any sort of provenance, and that if the gnome that runs this retirement home was a famous gnome collector who makes it his point to, whenever there are other gnomes who reach some sort of legendary status, before the end of their life, he collects them up and brings them here where they can retire and just perfect their craft here in the safety of the Feywild, where time moves a little slower, there are less enemies for gnomes here. You leave all your weapons locked up in an armory here, a shared armory. If you're ever attacked, you guys can have them, or if you ever leave the gnome home, you can have them, but in the home, weapons are put away. But you have access to everything else, all of your other inventory. You have a room of your own. You'll sometimes travel back to your gnome neighborhood and spread your tales and your legend. Tell the kids your stories, as you like to do, and then get out of there before something bad happens, so it's usually very short, tall tales. So yeah, you're in your gnome retirement home. You can come and go as you please. But you've met a lot of these other older gnomes in retirement, a lot of them much older than you at this point because they retired before you. You've struck up a friendship with many of them. Most recently, you've made friends with an oracle gnome and the gnome that's the master of games, and have come up with a sort of a plan, a plot, if you will. Having been a player of the big game in your own life, and not being someone that was initially chosen for that game, but someone that just sort of stumbled upon it via the power of chaos, you know that's possible, and so does the game master, since you guys have talked in the oracle. You've set up a plan to find 4 adventurers through this oracle, been prophesized to have some sort of link to the Great Crystals enough that something could happen. You're going to use your power to bring these 4 together, set them up somewhere, give them whatever little bit of information you feel like giving them, and then return here, thus unleashing chaos into the game. And then you have to return to the gnome retirement home, so you just have to work in very short bursts in the material plane. And right now, you've talked to these other 2 gnomes, and you've got this plan set up. You know who you're looking for. One of the people you're looking for is someone you consider a great-grandson, although it's gnome, so it's in quotation marks because a lot of your relations are just by feeling, because no one really knows how gnomes are born. No one's ever seen a pregnant gnome, but you guys have a very familiar relationship, as you know how you know how you do that at Chasnoff, how you feel about people. You feel like this person is your great grandson. Maybe they are, maybe they're not.
Technically, Wilson the mongoose is the great grandson of Rufus the mongoose,
who is now dead.
So I feel
yeah. That's where it comes from. That's your connection, is through mongooses. For some reason, you feel a connection to this other gnome. You call them your great-grandson. They're much younger than you. But yeah, you have this connection. That's one of them. One of them is the actual great-granddaughter of Harlock Spachimin, one of your former allies. Now someone who works for Kaiser Cersei. Although you didn't end up on either side of this battle. You didn't really go with Juan or Cersei in the battle. You kind of went off on your own, did your own thing, went your own way. But this Spachimin girl, Kay Spachimin, is very vital to this mission, apparently. So you gotta get her. And then there are 2 randoms who have been prophesized to be involved, very important, but somehow also work kind of like a buffer. These guys aren't connected to anything, so while they are prophesized to possibly come in contact with the Great Crystal, they won't draw any attention to themselves, and therefore maybe won't draw attention to the fact that your great-grandson and Harlock's great-granddaughter are making moves. So you've got 4 targets to pick up. You can do it however you want to do it. You have an oracle to show you where they are at any point in time, a game master to help you plan things out. You're the door lord, so you're the one who has to do the traveling to pick them up, get them together. You want to get them all collected and...
I wouldn't be able to bring them into the actual apartment itself.
No. You might be able to sneak them into your room, but you'd be doing something that could get you potentially kicked out of the gnome retirement home, and you don't want that because then you'd be sent back to material plane where you'd be in danger. So unless you want to risk getting kicked out of a gnome retirement home, you want to keep anyone that's not a gnome outside of the gnome retirement home.
I'm with the oracle and all that. Be like, Marjorie, I always imagine...
Marjorie, the Masteress of Glass. That's her name.
Yes. The other 2...
She can show them to you.
My know-nothing grandson and...
the Spachimin grandchild. Those 2 you just know things about them because of who they, because they're either related to you or to Harlock. The other 2 you know very little about. You're able to watch them and look at them if you want through the Oracle's viewing glass. One is a rat folk down in the sewers, boating around in the dark. By scrying, it's very hard to see because it's dark down the sewers. But that you see the rat. And then there's an unruly brawler guy in the streets of a big city with a big rat. But you don't know. You don't have any intel on them. You haven't been able to collect intel. Unless you want to talk to the game master, might be able to help you, but you don't know.
Alright, Chasnoff looks to his companions, grab my disguise kit, gather this team. So I open up my disguise kit, I take out a longer fake beard that I put on my already long beard. I take out a pair of glasses where one of the lenses got knocked out and they're kind of held out by rope. I asked Margie, Master of Glass, whom should I go find first?
It would be the best idea to get the Spachimin girl first.
Chasnoff puts his finger nearest to his temple, having dealt with the Spicemens over all the years, it's be like, why has it gotta be Bernie and why it's gotta be Spicemens? And I'd say, I understand.
How will you convince them? Where will you take them? I worry we don't have a fully formed enough plan for this, Chasnoff. I know you're a master of bullshitting, but how are we gonna pull this off?
I bring Rufus, who I have taught to slightly beatbox heist music, in plans of gathering the team. Yeah. So Rufus the Fourth jumps into my knapsack in the back, strictly just beatboxing because it's his love.
Aww.
And
It's more like squeak boxing, but yeah.
Oh.
they'll understand the plan. And then I'm gonna put on an eye patch and just a sticker that says that you're doing great. That I keep in my disguise kit as well.
A little pick me up.
Heads to the door, be like, "Hey guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to this Chemin place to get this kid I know." I grab the door. I hit up twice, side once.
Do a little dance.
Whole thing. I used to have. I can't find the book that had the actual.
You're using your ring though, right? So
At this point, it's been 150 years.
as long as the door you've touched before, it's not a problem.
I asked Margie to scribe the closest to the Chemin household of a door that I've.
You've been to the Spicemon mansion before, back when you knew Harlock, before he became governor. You can even get to a door in that house if you would like to. It'll cost you 5 of your mythic points, though.
What if I just scribe like my ring to get down the street?
You want to get to the city, it'll be 3 mythic points to get into the city.
Okay.
That might help you get away easier. That way you have some left over.
I'll scribe right down the way from Chemin Mansion.
That's fine. You've been in that city before, so you can use another door there that you've touched and appear out of it once it's not occupied by anybody using your mythic points. So yeah, you'll appear on the street.
I see the mansion
You know where it's at.
sitting on the crest, so I immediately just start walking my way there.
It's a pretty busy city, too. There's a lot of people that live here, hustle and bustle, so you can blend in. You're short, so you can blend in with the crowd, hide. You can get to the mansion front door just fine. This is a very technologically advanced city, so it's like one of those mechanical doors. You have a card reader, there's a doorbell type thing, but it's not a normal door. But you are a master of doors, so I mean, it's kind of up to you how you deal with this door.
I've been there before, so like I knock on it 3 times, I open it up, and I just walk in.
It's a mechanically secure door that uses an electronic key card. Case Machimin, is your front door locked?
I would hope so.
Then unless you have a knock spell, that won't work there, Chasnoff.
That's what I was trying to do.
You have a knock?
The bolts have the knock spell.
Open only works on unlocked doors, but knock will work on locked doors.
It's 2 up, 1 on the side, 1 on the left side.
I mean, at this point, you are like an over 200-year-old door lord. I assume you know how to knock a door. All right, yeah, you magically unlock this door. Yeah, this door opens for you, like the door in Star Trek just whooshes open. Whoosh. You can now walk into this mansion if you want.
Well, I walk right through.
Yeah, you're in the house now. It's a big, weird mechanical house with like electronic panels, lots of weird locked doors that look like they haven't been opened in a long time. A lot of flickering lights that haven't been maintained. Looks like it's a formerly wealthy house that hasn't been maintained well.
I'll yell out, Spaceman Girl, I'm here to get you.
Perception check. Case Machimin.
You get in my house.
An intrusion of privacy.
So that's gonna be a 15.
You can hear it.
Mine is a 17.
You will hear someone calling out your name, or some version of a very bad pronunciation of your name. So you heard some stirring, like, down the hallway, so someone is here.
Yeah, I am grab my weapon, running down there.
All right.
I guess to the foyer.
While we get in, I'll whisper to Rufus the Fourth that, the heist music louder.
You knocking the door has set off an alarm on it. Okay, you will notice there's flashing lights letting you know that alarm's been set off. Someone's broken into your house, obviously. That will also alert some local troll guards.
God damn it.
4 troll guards arrived because this is a very wealthy mansion that's part of the city, and these trolls work for the Castle of Chronicles. Some of them have imps riding in papooses on their backs or stomachs. 4 troll guards and 1 imp arrive to investigate because this is a very important household in this area. Immediately, they were nearby. This is a very wealthy area too, so almost immediately troll guards arrive, and they also come in the open door. Hello?
I'm aware that the trolls are advancing on me.
They're not moving fast. They haven't seen you. They just come in the door. They don't want. They can obviously tell this is a rich household. They're just police in this area. So gently open the door, coming in, looking. They're investigating because an alarm's going off. But yeah, they haven't seen you yet.
Okay.
You've heard them.
I did this to this game because I was we're playing in the same world where you used to be able to call Troll Guard.
And he immediately texted me, and it's all your fault.
Of course he did. Chasnoff is alert to the Troll Guard, coming towards. He's he's gonna put his hand on like the silencing rod he has and kind of scoot upstairs and try to just be out of the viewing of Troll Guard.
You want a stealth?
Yes.
Only a stealth.
Alright, without I don't have Chaznoff's.
Just roll. It's okay because you're in retirement, so just roll for success or fail, and I'll just do it based on that.
It was 15.
I'm gonna call it a match because I feel like your stealth is about the same. They also will hear a noise. They won't see you yet, but they'll be like coming your direction still. But you're tiny and you've been able to hide up to this point. Case Pachimin, you'll be coming that direction. Roll your perception to see if you want to see someone come up the stairs at you.
I feel like I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, woke up from a nap or something.
Yeah, that's definitely just woke up from a nap perception right there. You hear some noise. Yeah. That's all I got. Yeah, with a 10, you just hear some noises. Crashing around your house, people talking. Which is, you live alone here now. You've lived alone here for a while. You kind of have your room that you tinker around in. A lot of the rooms are like locked up and stuff because they're your ancestors' rooms and they have security keys you can't even get into. It's very rare to hear voices here, and you definitely hear voices here now, but you are coming out of a nap.
I feel like I would grab my shit and go investigate.
By your shit, you just mean your weapons, or like your whole, you want to grab a survival bag like you might be leaving the house, or?
Yeah, no, like everything, like, well, I guess not everything. I would definitely say I'd my, like, morning car. Like,
just grab a weapon, because there's some noises. Yeah. I get it, yeah. Someone might have broken into your house, something, that makes sense. Owner! Thief!
Yeah, I'll be like, yes.
Alright, you'll peer over the banister at them. They'll point at the red light flashing, alarm! And the imp will pop his head out of the papoose. Is everything okay, Spachimins?
I mean, so far, I don't know why the fuck the alarm went off.
Would you like us to search the house?
I'm a Spachimin. I feel pretty fucking confident.
Just want to kick him out?
I think I got this.
With an intimidation, you can kick him out.
What's it called? Castle law? Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking yell at him. Like, get the fuck out of my fucking house. Gonna be like a 9.
The imp's excited by it.
Yeah, I'm going to cast large person.
On yourself?
Myself. Yes.
Yourself bigger. Increases your size, lowers your dex. Yeah, that changes something so you can roll intimidation again. All that, I won't make your intimidation better, but maybe you'll roll better.
That was a 16.
I'll say that combined with your status here in town, you can sort of like shove them away and out the front door if that's what you really want to do. They're gonna begrudgingly go with it. The imp will protest, the trolls will grunt, but it's your house. You are rich and powerful. You can kick them out.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my house. Like, I shouldn't have to show you a goddamn ID card. Like, this is my house.
He's like, I'll call you if I'm in any danger. Like, you can always push a button to call them back if there is something going on. But you like, they didn't see anything, you don't see anything. Right now they're bothering you.
As far as I'm concerned, everything seems fine.
Chaznoff, you see this young woman shove a bunch of trolls out the front door, very large trolls. And she seemed to be able to boss these large trolls around.
My corner and jump out with my hands up, be like, you are exactly who I'm looking for.
And who the fuck are you?
I'm Chaznoff, the whole thing.
You got the fucking goddamn troll cops called to my house.
Case Pachimin, roll history check to see if you know the name Chaznoff.
I got a 23.
You know the name Chaznoff. With a 23, you will know anything that Harlock would have written in a journal. So any stories that he would have written down about Chaznoff in his journal, you've probably found and read. So you know cursory Chaznoff information. So immediately you know this is a friend of your great-grandfather at least. And then he has some adventures.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I've heard sorry. You have lots of unseedy people coming around. What can I do you for?
Long story short, we're gonna need you. There's this game going on, there's this chaos egg. Be you gonna get that.
Tell me more.
So, us gnomes, we're all retired. The great gnomes have all had past lives, and we're looking to try to do something new, and we realize that you, Chemin, of the long line of Spachemins, are a perfect candidate to go and help the Chaos Egg reach its fruition.
Now that you mention it, I've been bored here, secluded. I wouldn't mind going off on an adventure. I suppose join your partay. Is there booze?
Of course there's booze. It's an adventure, firstly.
Okay.
Secondly, of course you're coming along. You have to. It's already been written. So, before we leave your house, you can't be seen. So I need you to put on this disguise. So I open up a disguise kit, pull out an eye patch, and a hipster mustache.
Good sir, I think I know what you're saying. Let me take care of this. I cast disguise self on myself.
How do you magically disguise yourself with magic?
I make myself look like
That's one of your level 1-ish spells?
Yep. Yep.
Yep, go for it. Yeah, you use that a elixir of some sort because you're an alchemist, so you have to drink something and then your body morphs, or at least illusionishly. You create a pheromone.
Chasnov will look at, like, watch that happen and be like, you think you look like a gnome, and like while shaking his head, put the eye patch on him and
the mustache, and you'll
be
still.
like, now you're a gnome.
All right, roll a disguise check with that on top of the illusion. There, Chasnov. The illusion's already set for magically, but this will add to it.
Plus 19.
All right, and that's how good the disguise is. The bell of your door rings again there, Spachimin.
Okay, before that, I'm going to say this is a little weird. I'm a female. I don't know why I need a mustache, but I will answer the door.
It's a beautiful mustache.
It's established you like facial hair. So you put some fake facial hair and eye patch on this now disguised Kay Spachimin who looks like a gnome. You open the door, Kay. It was a bird that rang your doorbell, carrying a note.
I mean, I answer it and say, caw.
There's a note around the ankle.
Oh, yeah, I'd totally take it off and read it.
Roll handle animal.
Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, 18.
That's actually going to be good enough, and I rolled high enough that it's going to realize that your illusion isn't that you are Case with Chimney. It was reluctant, but I guess animals have heightened senses. After you go for it a second time, we'll reluctantly give up the note. This ugly bird will fly away.
I open the note and read it.
It's the one Harlock sent to you.
Oh, that makes sense. Dear granddaughter, I know we have not spent time together.
Etc., etc. We heard it earlier.
Yeah.
We get it. Yeah, you have the note now. Chasnov, roll me perception check.
Without having a sheet, it's a 3.
Then you're not going to notice. I'll go on then until horrible things happen. That's fine with me. Plus something.
Chasnov's previous buff.
Perception, yeah, which might make it like an 11. I'll take that into account. You start getting an uneasy feeling at least. You don't see or hear anything, but I mean, just with your recent experience coming to the material plane, like I said, you know you can't be here long without inviting trouble.
I'll look at Spachema and be like, hey, I understand where you have your note. We're in this. Let's go.
I am willing to help you, but we have to make a pit stop first because of the note. But I won't tell him why, but like, well, actually, you know what? Fuck it.
Show him the note?
Why.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen.
You can see the note. You know Harlock. It's Harlock's old man Harlock handwriting, so it's like scribbly now. He's got old man hand.
I gotta see Pop first.
I need to see Pop Up, so I grab Chairman, open the door, roll him through the door, and we're there.
Oh, you only have 4 left. That's plane, continent, city. Yeah, you can get very, very close to that area if you would like with your remaining 4. You can do 3 and be in this like general area, 4 and get very close. But then after that, I believe that's the top out of your mythic points whenever you finished out the game.
I'll do 2 then.
All right, 2. That'll get you. That'll only put you anywhere else on the same planet as this. So you could be tossing Case Spachimin anywhere if you do that.
Okay.
All right, maybe 3.
I'll do 3.
That will ensure that Spachimin at least ends up on the same continent that you want. You need 4 to get in that city for this.
It's coming with me, right?
I'll do the 4 and go with them.
All right, so the 2 of you travel to visit Harlock Spachimin. You'll be like very near the governor's mansion in Ponvide, near the missile silos and such. So now you have to do is get to his house, walk into the house, and get inside somehow. I will say because Chasnov is a very old door lord, you guys are only a block away with that.
Walking up to the front gate.
That's not a problem. He's got guards there, but you have an invitation, so.
Yeah, I would just go straight to my Pop's house.
Show your note. Roll me diplomacy and show your note, and then I'll see if that rides.
Not good today. Oh, that's a 9.
They're unsure, but they'll check. When you show them the note, they'll go check. They're just not gonna let you in right away. So you have to sit there and wait outside. Chasnov, given the particular nature of your current predicament, you know you don't want to wait around a long time out here, and you're being asked to wait, and your door lord powers are drained. So you know you're in quite the predicament if you're here for a long period of time. Do you want to help us, Spachimin? Do you want to maybe also make diplomacy to since they're walking away with this note to let you guys in?
With free buff, it would have been 15 because I don't have a sheet.
And you maybe just name drop I'm Chasnov the Great or something, right? One of those kind of things.
Yeah. Oh, doors? You heard of doors?
Because we have a 3-way thing going in here, Harlock Spachimin, you could be oracling what's going on outside of your place right now if you would like to be watching.
Yeah, try it.
So it's only perception to see if you're watching as Harlock. Rolling base is fine.
That's a 6.
You're not paying attention. You're an old man. You got other shit going on. You don't know they're outside right now. But you have one of your servants coming to tell you. It's just going to take a minute. It takes about 4 minutes. The note is authentic, and they will return and let you in. You'll be granted access to the government. You'll be led by this servant to Harlock Spachimin, old man Spachimin in his wheelchair and his wrinkled old frame, in his fine clothes, sitting next to all his control panels and his magical crystal gazing ball. You probably keep a safe distance. You have guards in the room with you, all that stuff.
Hello, Pop. I've been sent on a mission.
You gotta talk to yourself, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Maybe just figure out what your grandfather wants, then find out if you guys can rest here so Chasm can get his powers back and hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah, no, well then I'll just ask him what the fuck. I'll tell him I'm going on a mission and, like, ask why he sent me the letter.
Well, then now Harlock needs to explain why Harlock sent the letter.
Well, I think Harlock sent the letter just, like, to reconnect.
Well, here's your chance, bud.
Harlock have any
Reconnect.
play in this? Like,
Harlock's, you're an old man, so you're here. I mean, you can have difficulty hearing or seeing or participating. You could be shitting yourself right now, I don't know, but you are here, and your granddaughter's here in front of you.
literally just wants to reconnect. Nothing to do with it.
Just make sure everything's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, you've done that. Do you let Chasnoff and your daughter stay the night?
Yeah, of course. I know that Chasnoff knows Harlock, so, like, I wouldn't get in the way of that.
Stay, you'll probably have, like, dinner together, you know, like, maybe do something. You're an old man and you've got a lot going on. But yeah, you guys will socialize a little bit, have a meal,
I
talk.
assume just a dinner, yes.
You'll show them a room they can stay in, a guest room. But as you guys doze off, you get that sick feeling in the gut of your stomach, Chasnoff. Roll for initiative.
16 prior to
Anything?
anything else.
Alright, I rolled one higher prior to anything else, so I'll say I still win it. So you got a ghastly figure with glowing eyes appears in the room while you're sleeping, and you roll. You know, you don't sleep very well anyway in the material plane because you're always paranoid and worried. So you're a light sleeper, and you wake up to the whisper. You always hear the whispers coming. The wraith that's after you has appeared in the room with you. You either need to escape or fight it off. It's only after you. It probably won't affect anyone else. Case Bachiman is still asleep. Harlock, the old man, is somewhere else. He could be awake or asleep. I don't know, but he's somewhere else in the mansion right now. It's just you and Kay in this room, and Kay's asleep, and a wraith appears.
Like, I just, like, cast dazzling lights as being startled. That somewhat might wake Kay up.
I'll allow that perception check for Kay to see if the lights wake you.
It's a 20. Unnatural.
You can wake up.
Yeah, I'll wake up.
Now that she's awake, I'll be like, Kay, this wraith has been, like, going after me for years. I'm not sure if we can beat it. With the help of your great-grandfather, might be able to.
I want to do a perception check on I recognize it or shit like that.
It has an unnatural aura, and I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen a wraith before. But it's just a dark, unnatural, creepy thing.
Okay,
It doesn't really have a figure. It's just a dark shape with flickering eyes, so it's very unnerving and amorphous. It's a shadowy, ghostly figure.
I yell at, like, I'm, again, disoriented. I just woke up, like, what the fuck? I drank a lot last night at dinner. Very out of it.
That's sort of like this Pachiman family curse. You're heavy drinkers in that family, so what happens? Aiden Colleen, worshippers, many of you. If that's all you guys' turn, it's going to come after Chasnoff. I rolled a natural 1 though, so
Yes.
let's say because I rolled a natural 1 and you guys are in a Spachiman governor's mansion, some spectral technology goes off. Ghost trap merges. Rant, rant, rant. Luckily, the Spachimans are ready for this stuff. You guys, as you know, the Spachiman clan's been looking for a way to have a prolonged life for a long time. They do a lot of research. Your family has, at least you haven't, in the afterlife. And Harlock, like I said, was paranoid already of things like this happening to him. So he has wraith traps set up. So a wraith trap emerges from the wall, sucks in the wraith, traps it, buying you some more time there, Chasnoff. You're able to sleep, knowing that this wraith is trapped for at least 8 hours. You can sleep before it's at least wherever it came from. This to come searching for you again. So it's bought you some time. You're able to rest the rest of the evening, recover, and in the morning you'll have all of your mythic points back. So unless you want to like hang out with Harlock and eat breakfast and stuff, you guys can go wherever it is you want to go next.
Clearly, we can't hang out here. We gotta go.
Yeah.
I would agree. I heard stories of Pop Mansion being fucked up, and it has been proven true. I think I would fuck right off.
At least you've met him, and if you ever need a favor in the future, you know you can reach out.
Yeah, like, thanks for the hospitality.
Do you want to leave a note, or do you just want to like sneak out, or do you want to like actually say goodbye in person?
I think I would say it in person, but it would be a quick boy. I'm out.
Nice meeting you.
Catch you later.
So now Harlock, you'll have an easier time watching Kay in the future. Kay and Chasnoff, you now have 7 mythic points to blow.
I'll whisper to Rufus, be like, heist music.
Rufus will squeak
I'll
one
put
up.
on, and like Rufus starts like blasting that heist music bass. That's what she's bred for. And I put on a second eye patch over the first eye patch I had. Out
Double
of my
eye patch.
Kit, and I'll be like, I'll show Spachemin the list of the rest of the people we're getting. I'll be like, who do you want to go grab?
Okay. I thought for a second you were trying to rob
Heist music,
my
yeah.
grandfather's house. I was like, are you going to rob the house if you don't have problems?
Chasnoff doesn't steal anything, but is hold up a piece of paper with the name John, with the name Bernie, and the name Captain Nim Nim.
Alright, we're going with John.
Gotta go get just John.
Yeah. Just John. Who we gotta get in there?
K, right? That's...
Yeah, that's their name, K. Yep.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm gonna have to repeat that. Okay, then here we go, and I'll grab the door. I'm going to John's village.
Where's that?
It's on the sheet.
No, it's just his name. But you are here at Harlock's house, and Harlock's an oracle. You get Harlock to help you find out where to go.
Harlock will help describe this guy.
It is a percentage thing.
Well.
And I rolled high enough that, yeah, you guys can scry this John.
I rolled an 18 without anything else.
You're able to give Harlock enough information, and I rolled high enough that, yeah, you can scry John. No problem.
Okay,
You can see where he's at.
Knowing where John is, I'm gonna use the closest door.
Wait. Before you do that, you'll realize that John is here in Pont Vide.
Ah!
So even without a door spell, you can just go find him in the city streets if you want to go looking for him.
Okay.
You just might need to roll some perception checks or knowledge local to go find the weird old man with the rat who's like always fighting people and starting fights in the streets and stuff.
Alright, boots to the ground. I'm okay with it. And I'll let Kay know that, hey, he's in town. We don't need to travel about.
Alright, let's go find this bastard. What did you say? Local's probably the best?
Local or perception, one of those two is better, yeah. They're the best.
Perception, I rolled a 15.
Yeah, perception's looking around, local's asking around, but they both work.
I'm gonna do local, that would be a 17.
It sounds like both of you guys did a really good job, and you'll be able to track this just John down. Just with the description, because you've got a good visual of him. While there are many humans here in Pont Vide, there aren't many humans who sort of live out on the street, get drunk, and start fights, and have a big pet rat. So he's easy to track down. It's like when you have that one bum in town, and everyone knows, oh, that one bum who rides a horse or whatever, like, you know. He's got,
John from Bum Fights.
Yeah, he's like a local legend bum, so he's easy to find. People, like, know who he is. They're like, oh, just John? We all know just John. He's over here.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can track him down.
40s to fight.
Yeah. No, it's Byron.
Got it.
Byron. I've known about Byron for years.
Basically, yeah.
Chasnoff.
It is this world's version of Byron.
His name is Byron now.
In the classic Chasnoff fashion, we'll misnomer them for the rest of the game. As far as you're concerned, their name is Byron now.
Yeah, we will go find Bum Fights or
Yeah, you can find John. He's outside in the street all the time. He doesn't go inside. He doesn't have a house. That's not a problem. You can approach at your own caution.
We track him down.
You see him across the street from you now. He's like out in the street. It's early in the morning because you guys just woke up, but he's outside talking to a rat, talking trash to people that walk by, trying to like start shit.
So like he can talk to the rat like a crazy person.
You don't know if he can talk to the rat or if the rat can talk, but he is turning to the rat and talking to it. Whether or not there's communication going on is beyond, you don't know. But he is looking at a rat and talking to it often.
Okay, so
Quite often.
While we're walking up to John and the rat talking, like Chasnoff casts Speak to Animal.
You can do
I'm
that.
gonna say I've got Sylvan. Does that count?
Sylvan is the way to speak to animals, so as long as you squeak, yeah.
I want to talk to the rat first. Like, is this guy legit? I don't know.
That's diplomacy, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be an 11.
For the sake of the game, you can speak for your rat, but because you're a rat, you can't speak in full sentence. You know, it's a simple... you ever seen that dog that uses buttons to talk? It's got to be a very simple speech, like simple words,
John
phrases
good?
are mixed up. Like, John, good. John, yeah, it can't be anything complicated, basically. But you can reply in Sylvan as a rat. So just now, this man walked up to you and went, squeak, 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 and now you're going to squeak back at him in your rat language, but he's going to understand it. 2-word sentence is great. You still have to roll handle animal to make your rat do stuff, but I'm letting you talk for the rat, because someone's talking to it and I don't want to. Feeds me, he's good. So yeah, that's perfect rat information.
Alright. I will speak to John then and be like, we have a mission of higher importance.
We'll see how John replies, but I think John will like that you talk to the rat first. Knowing what I know about John's character, the fact that you talk to the rat first is probably good.
I appreciate you talking to my companion. Now, what's this mission? I don't know. You're gonna have to talk to the boss man. I was a little drunk and sleepy. I wasn't paying attention.
She gestures towards the gnome.
Chasnoff,
Little man behind me.
Chasnoff whispers to Rufus the Fourth and be like, heist music, please.
Little mongoose head pops out of your backpack and starts beatboxing.
And very poignantly towards John, be like, you are needed for a very important mission. And then I slowly take off the first mask, or the first fake beard, the second
and one eye
fake
patch.
beard,
One of your 2 eye patches.
Covering a second eye patch, and I take off that eye patch, be like, do you know who I am now?
Knowledge history to see if you recognize this face. And name, I guess. You have said your name.
I got 4.
Yeah, that actually makes sense for your character. You're crazy. You've never heard of this guy. You don't recognize him. There's some, as far as you're concerned, because you're crazy, you think you're sane, and you talking to your rat is normal. You think this guy is crazy. Like, he's come to you, there's some sort of mission. He's talking to a mongoose in his backpack. What a fucking weirdo. You think these guys are crazy, and it sounds like with that role, you're probably gonna be hesitant to come with them unless they do something to convince you.
Yeah, you're talking to animals and shit. And my wonderful companion here, we got things to do later. I gotta pick up some food. I got places to see.
I put my hand up to John's face and start talking to the rat companion to try to talk some sense into the person.
Right. And for our audience sake, just John thinks that his rat is a rat. You think your rat's a person. You don't see your rat as a rat, for the sake of anyone listening.
Which is also not strange for me, like Chasnov as a character, to just understand exactly the...
Yeah, I mean, I think you see a lot of animals as people. I think you value... The gnome value system is very different than the human value system.
I live in a very...
You see some humans as not human and some animals as, so yes.
Yes. So I talked to the rat, be like, I had already cast speak to animal.
Yeah, you just keep doing it.
Tell the rat, like, we need him to get the egg.
And the rat can talk to John, but I don't think John speaks Sylvan. I think just John thinks he knows what the rat says and doesn't really know what the rat says, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so yeah, the rat can try to tell John all these things, but John's just going to take whatever he wants to imagine the rat saying from that.
Okay, so after the first back and forth with the rat and me to John, I realized that he doesn't actually talk to the rat, so I just go to the rat, double thumbs up, come with us, like things to have the rat get to John.
Roll me diplomacy, and yeah, I guess you see the power dynamic, and you assume if the rat follows you that John will also follow.
Oh, it's a good diplo. 18 plus...
Plus something, so yeah, that's great. So yeah, you can attract, the rat will follow you, and I assume if the rat follows, then John also follows. Correct? Yeah, they follow because the rat follows you and John follows the rat.
I'll look at Kay and John the rat and be like, I'll have to scry to find the last person that we're...
Yeah, you can do that.
You have that skill, Chasnov? You can scry. You just need either a mirror, a piece of glass, some water. You need something to scry into, but as long as you find a reflective surface of some sort, you can scry. Even like a window of a store.
Yeah, no, we'll walk down the streets and we'll look at like fancy reflective glass.
This is a very technologically advanced city, so there's a lot of reflective surfaces here. A lot of like metal and that. You can find something if you want to. It's not a problem.
So I'll look in the very reflective glass on a very fancy store and scry the final or the second to final.
That's fine. You can scry. You scry the next member of your team, the last name to cross off on your sheet. They are in a very large city you recognize almost immediately from your travels, Chasnov, as the Darling Metropolis.
Guys, we're good. And then I go and I put on.
Fuck that town.
I put on a beard, a mustache, and two eye patches. And I offer up my disguise kit to anyone else.
Yeah, I'll take one.
I can just...
John's just seeing you pull shit out.
You're bald, too. John, I forgot to mention, John's like a bald man. I'm sure he probably wants to put on a wig.
Yeah.
It's like free wig, sweet.
Wig on, so I put a clown
John's got like a pot belly,
and then
mustache.
On John the Rat, I put a hipster mustache with the curly thing.
So you give the rat a mustache, too, or just John?
No, the rat gets a mustache, John gets a afro wig.
I discuss with the rat and take the mustache and put it on like my pelvic area.
It's now, what is it, Merkin? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I got
curly mustache Merkin.
Chasnov shakes his head and gives the rat another hipster mustache because...
That's fine. That's fine.
Like that. I like to imagine that Chasnov has a small collection of hipster mustaches, like in a box.
Yeah.
That's all. They're all curly.
No, and whenever, also, I forgot to bring this up earlier, whenever Chasnov opened up his disguise kit, it's like the bag in Pulp Fiction, it just glows gold.
Only because there's a light bulb in there.
Do I have like rainbow afro wig, like a clown?
It can be if Chasnov says so, but it's his disguise kit.
Clown wig.
Sure, yeah, then yes, clown wig. As long as Chasnov never takes it away, you can wear that as long as you like. You got it on now, and now you guys need to go to the Darling Metropolis to find this last geek. I guess you haven't gotten the Chasnov's great grandson either, but that'll be easy, you assume.
Be the last one. right through here. I'll grab the door closest to us, open it up, and...
Wickety whack. That one I'll make 3 points. That way you have 4 left over. That'll get you into the Darling Metropolis, where now you have to do is find this person. They were down in the sewer, so you couldn't take a door down the sewer. You're above ground. You know that you scry them down the sewer, so now you have to do is, now that you're above ground in the Darling Metropolis, find a way down the sewer and then find them down there somehow.
Can I roll perception to see if there's like a
sewer grate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 17 without any of his other stuff.
That you can find a sewer grate easily. There's a lot of guards. There's like also a presence of snakes in this area near the grates and stuff. But with a stealth, you could probably get one open without drawing attention to yourself.
And stealth is a 12 before anything.
All right, I rolled perception to see how. I rolled a 4 before anything, so we'll let that be lower. You can sneak your way down in the sewer.
Jasnoff will right before he goes to open the sewer grate, he'll throw on a wig on top of his head, kind of like I Love Lucy, and he'll go and he'll need help to lift up the sewer grate, so I'll ask for
You are a frail, weak old gnome man.
Yeah,
I got this.
John's a brawler. He's
I'll have to roll
despite the pot belly, he's got some strength.
And it was 10 plus nothing, because it would have been 0, even if I still had the sheet.
Yeah.
I knew it
We'll
was
let John roll a strength and see how he's doing.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3, so that's
Oh, yeah, you guys are having trouble. Maybe it's locked or something. Somebody else want to take a look at it? Maybe it's like a child safety cap on an astronaut, you turn it a certain way. They've really improved these sewer grates from 150 years ago, Chad. They used to be so much easier to lift sewer grates back in the day.
Yeah, I think we're completely...
I gotta have my rat help.
I have something weird.
It's a 3.
The rat's no help. You talk to your rat looks at you confusedly.
I'll use my mage hand to help lift it up.
I will use large person.
Increase your strength. Yeah, roll me a strength check once you've enlarged person. That'll add a bonus to your strength there. Okay, maybe you can just do it for everybody. Girl power.
Oh god, this still might not be great. 9.
It must be locked. Maybe you guys need a disabled device or something. If anyone's got that. Must be a very complicated sewer grate.
I can do that as well.
Complicated sewer grate ever.
I rolled a 19 on disabled device.
It was just locked. That's all. You unlocked it.
When I realize that the game's locked, I'll cast aside, away from me, flashing lights, so that everyone gets distracted while I just unlock the thing.
That's fine. Yeah, you can use that to distract me. This is a pretty busy city, so your lights will be over there while you guys pop off the grate finally.
I'm not distracting anyone except for the party. I just want them to not realize that I just unlocked this.
You want to impress them now when you do a strength roll and lift it up?
Oh, now, yes. 100%.
Alright, now it's unlocked. Roll me a strength to lift it up.
Yeah, the gnome will do the strength.
15.
Yeah, now you lift it up, now it's unlocked. Just fine.
And while I'm doing it, I kind of use the one hand, the other hand to just, flex.
And that's why Chasnoff the Great is so great, and all the legends are told about him. This is going to be a story you tell the kids about one day.
Yeah, and I'll let everybody down into the sewers.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as everybody wants to go down there, you can all go down there.
Hell yeah, I'm fucking good.
Yeah, I'll go.
Would you like to close the sewer grate behind you?
Yes,
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You do, and it locks above you. Click, click. You're now in the sewer where it's dark and dank and smells like shit. You hear rumbling underground that you didn't hear above ground. But you're down here and it smells bad. Unless you have dark vision, you can't see. So,
I can see 5.
walking in shallow poop water.
So I like Chasnoff cast light on his head.
Okay, so your head now just glows. Chasnoff's got light bulb head now.
I cast Negate Aroma.
Nice. Alright. So it probably just creates a shield around your guy so it doesn't stink as bad.
Smells amazing down here.
Classic alchemist. What you pull out a potpourri pack. That's his alchemist trick. You pull out potpourri. You keep spraying eucalyptus oil all around everybody. Eucalyptus, eucalyptus, eucalyptus.
We've got an hour.
Alright.
John thinks it smells like shit, though. He's like, why does it smell so bad?
The better it smells, the worse you think it smells. That's what, you thought it smelled good, and then now the case with Chimon's ruining it with this perfume. Stupid toilet water. So roll perception to try and find this rat in the sewer.
And 18 before my other stuff.
I got 20 right.
Yeah, you guys can, with that, you guys all rolled high enough. You can stumble upon tiny rat folk cleaning down the sewer in a little rafty boat, not even a well-made boat. It's like a boat, looks like it's made out of 2 old beer barrels, shoving a stick into a poop hole to loosen some poop. The sewer will keep flowing properly. She's unclogging the drain, basically. So you got this rat folk down here unclogging the drain that you walk up upon. This is who you're looking for, with poop caked into their fur. This is the hero you've been seeking out.
Hell yeah.
Jasnov cries slightly, knowing how beautiful this is.
This is like, to you, this is the most attracted you've ever been to anyone. You see this rat folk and you fall in love. But it's that creepy old man love where you, like, want to marry them and, like, die and leave them all of your savings. Usually no one's down here.
Yeah, I start fucking wildly poke out with my...
With your poop stick? Yeah.
With my let's say I drop the poop stick.
And grab your sword?
My little rapier.
Alright, so the sword's like wishing out through the air.
Really, like, I'm just panicking.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a real...
You fall backwards in your boat, you're sort of like prone just with your sword up in the air.
Yeah.
You freak the rat out.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll just send my beloved colleague, Dr. Rosalind, over. She'll talk things through.
Have a little rat folk to rat folk conversation, right?
While they're having a conversation, I'll send the fourth over to, like, do, like, heist beatbox music behind them so he understands the gravity.
Oh, so it sounds like a rat and a mongoose are approaching you.
I'm now just hunkered down in the boat out, and I'm very...
It's, usually your work days are much less eventful.
I think I would walk up and be like, "Hey, like it's cool. We are here to talk to you.
Get back!
I think this would we need your help. I think this would be a diplo.
It would.
Whether that goes well or not. That's gonna be a 9.
You scared them. You need to calm this rat folk down.
It's funny, none of us have handle animals.
Rat folk aren't animals, they're people!
So you say...
That's insulting.
That's racist. Anybody have a good idea?
Maybe, Chasnov, you're the one bringing this whole group together. Maybe you're the one to sell this idea.
I look at the rat in the sewer and realize how poorly planned we had made this entire thing. Be like, listen, not gonna make a lot of sense. You know who I am, and I take off all my makeup stuff. I know who you are.
Roll me knowledge history once all the makeup's off, and Chasnov, do you want to say your name too to help?
Yeah, no, I'll be like, I'm Jasnov, the door guy. You might have heard of me.
Knowledge history.
Yeah, 13.
It's like one of those things like name recognition, like, oh, it's like an author you've heard of, but you don't know any Chasnov stories.
Are you a pirate? You had a lot of eye patches.
He does have a lot of eye patches. Maybe that might be enough for you, Chasnov, to feel like you might be able to entice this person if you gift an eye patch, even.
Yeah, no, so I open up...
You do have a lot.
...disguise kit, and a beautiful orange aura flows from outside of it, and I hold the eye patch in my other hand, and just like, eye patch, if you come with us.
I like the eye patch.
Eye patch?
I don't know who you are.
I throw the eye patch at you as a thing of good faith.
Try to talk to the rat. It's not rat speak, but I have a plus 11 when it comes to rats.
So yeah, roll it. Is that a handle animal?
20 at there.
Yeah, you can handle the fuck out of that rat. You can give the rat a command. You can get... it's a rat, so it can't... Unless you can't talk to it without Sylvan or something, so you can't have a conversation, but you can get a vibe from the rat if you want. The rat seems, like, well-fed and healthy. It seems like... It's a chihuahua size. It's a big, healthy rat that seems happy. Doesn't seem threatened by these people. So if you want to, like, use that vibe... And right now, if you want to give the rat a command, you could tell it to roll over or fucking do a flip with that high of enough a roll. You can do whatever you want right now. You can boss that rat.
Oh,
do it.
I don't want the rat to do anything other than just, like, give me a general sense of what the...
You can boss the rat to give you a general sense. You're not getting a bad vibe from the rat. Like, maybe a sense motive, but based on your handle animal, the rat seems well-trained, well-fed. These people don't seem to be a threat to the rat. They brought the rat with it.
With a high enough roll, do I understand anything about the relationship between John and the other rat? The rat?
Like I said, you're able to pick up that it's well-fed, well-taken care of. Maybe with that high enough roll, you can tell who the owner is and stuff like that, yeah.
I want it to go to where, like, its owner is. I want to know who the owner is.
Because that was such a high roll, I'll say you can pick out who it's most comfortable with. He does have a clown wig on currently.
Jesus, okay. Are you guys pirates or in the circus, or what the fuck is going on?
Maybe they're circus pirates.
You gave me an eye patch, I like that, but I don't know who you are. This other guy talked to me like he was super important or something, and now... What's your name, clown man? John.
Very formal.
No, just John. John. What about the other two?
Just me, Kay. Don't worry about me. My voice is so deep. Maybe I smoke fantasy cigarettes.
She got one of those deep lady voices.
Sound like a dwarven woman.
Roll for initiative, everyone.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Fuck shit up.
Yeah, you got 5. I got a 8.
Yeah, crushing it. I
You're
got
at 9.
a 7. I got a 7.
Chazdolf rolled a 10. Yeah, it's awful.
It was pretty bad, especially because my Wraith got a 25.
Oh, great. That's good.
The Wraith's back, and it's here for Chasnoff, so only Chasnoff has to worry. It's coming at you, Chasnoff. That's going to be a 14 versus your touch AC. I don't know if you remember what your touch AC was, but give it your best guess.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a hit for sure.
So instead of 6 energy damage, we'll do 3 energy damage plus 3 con drain, so you're going to be weakened a lot by that. John, you are next. You see this ghastly figure with glowing yellow eyes.
We're gonna walk up to this thing together, and I'm gonna do a dirty trick maneuver. I'm just gonna take some sewer muck and try to toss it in its eyes. Cool.
It's a dex attack.
But that's only a 9.
Well, you missed, but it's also like you throw mud, and it seems like it would have hit it, but since this is an incorporeal creature and you roll so low, it just goes right through. Hits the wall right behind it. Chasnoff.
He's gonna cast Maze on the Wraith.
I get a will save for that, right? I'm going to say that'll get rid of the Wraith for however long Maze gets rid of something.
It's 10 minutes, so it's a fair amount of rounds.
Alright, but you've temporarily gotten rid of it. So you bought yourself some time. And maybe this will be your chance to, like, convince everyone that there's a sense of urgency and you guys should get the fuck out of here and go somewhere else.
Okay, so I'll turn to everybody else. I'm like, gone for a minute. I don't feel like dealing with him. I'm an old man. We have to go to my good-for-nothing, whom I love like a prince, grandson, great-grandson, and go get him to finish this team.
And I'll be like, alright, let's go. Where are we going?
I assume for the sake of our adventure everyone's convinced. If not, you can say you're not. But
Sure, yeah, I put on the eye patch.
to adventure.
Retreat. I've already passed Expeditious Retreat, and I'm like 100 feet away.
Ready to bar. You're running.
Okay, I tell them before they go, this is very important because door magic is very particular. You need this to be able to walk through this particular door. And I put a hang in there kitten sticker on everybody. It's the only thing that will bind us to the mortal plane when we return. And I open up the door to my...
You open the door, I'm the first one in. I like plow through all y'all. I'm in.
Yeah, and that's it. It's my grandson's house.
I didn't even need to hear that. I'm already in the door.
Right to his tinker's shop.
Alright, you guys all pile in.
It's in the back door of his tinker's shop.
So you want to appear in Southport at its store, at its shop. You guys spill out onto the streets of Southport, outside of a small tinkerer shop in a very well-kept and clean city. All of you kind of spill out, your ragtag, dirty, weird group. It's like sticking out like a sore thumb as you tumble out in the streets here in this very small city. Nim Nim, in the city that you come from, is a much more crowded, dirty city. This city is much smaller, much cleaner. John, your experience is probably, I mean, the city you came from was very technologically advanced, and this one's very, I wouldn't say primitive, but much more like rustic. Same thing for you.
What kind of tinker shop we talking?
He repairs items under the guise of him being able to hone his lockpicking and...
So it's like a broad tinkerer. You kind of jack of all trades. You're a handyman.
Where he's like unique,
Mechanically inclined, you're good at understanding things. So it's a general handyman shop, like a jack of... You need a guy to do a small job. It's that kind of tinkerer shop in Southport.
I want to start acquiring parts for a robot. You know, like...
What kind? Are we talking like a toy robot, a Roomba, or are we talking like a battle bot? What kind of bot are we talking? A defense droid?
No, I
Tactical?
think we're going small. Not like a Roomba, but like, you know...
I mean, you can go into the shop and see if there are parts if you like. Oh, this, like I said, this guy seems to be like more Mr. Fix-It.
Something the size of more like a pet at this point. Eline.
Yeah, but you guys go in the shop and see if anything like that is there. Although this seems more like a for-hire type business where he comes to you and fixes things. He might have some supplies, and you could ask him. You guys can walk into the shop. Of course, you're at the shop there, Bernie.
Yeah, I'm thinking like gears and, you know, your standard basic stuff.
Enter Bernie the Handyman in his shop as you have several customers, more than you're used to. Like, usually you get like a couple, you know, your customer base is very small. New customers are very few and far between. All of a sudden, 4 new customers walk in all at once. That's wild. So you'll probably be very attentive when 4 new characters walk in, plus a big rat. Roll me knowledge history, because one of the people walking in is your quote-unquote great-grandfather, so...
Well, I'm looking over the area while having one of my very rare bits of face blindness. Wilson the mongoose, the great grandson of Rufus the Fourth, the mongoose, runs over to his kin. So I rolled a 19 I was supposed to roll
The mongoose. Yeah. I think with a 19 plus the mongoose, you can recognize who Chasnoff is and who the mongoose is.
25 would have been my roll for perception on being able to roll everything. Plus, my mongoose is with its paternal grandfather.
Yeah, he doesn't know anybody else, but you immediately recognize Chasnoff and you've been waiting for this day your entire life.
Yeah, Chasnoff, you're here. You're finally here to see my shop. And he's like, not so much. Not so much.
You don't need a toilet fixed or a door jam repaired?
I have faith in you, kid, but it's not in the handyman shop. There's stuff you gotta do. I'm here with these guys. Here, put on this eye patch. And he throws an eye patch at Chasnoff.
Yeah, John just picks up a little tiny mechanical wrench and starts picking his ear.
Get some earwax.
I look around for anything valuable.
Roll me an appraise check to look for valuables.
Alright.
Oh, so this is a handyman shop. The most valuable thing in here seems to be his tools and stuff. He's got a survival pack, packed and ready to go. You can assume his most valuable items are on his in his go bag. Try and snatch it. That's your life.
I do.
Do you want to do it? Wait, do you want to do it sneakily or just want to grab it?
No, I'm gonna do sleight of hand.
And do you want to grab his bag or just tools that are around the shop?
There's a shiny wrench close.
All right, yeah, you can roll a sleight of hand to steal a wrench.
18.
Anyone that would want to observe this wrench stealing can roll a perception versus that number.
Chasnoff is rolling perception. It would have been 15 plus Chasnoff's regular perception shit.
Chasnoff will definitely see it. I mean, you want to roll for Bernie too if you want to see if Bernie sees it, but Chasnoff definitely sees Nim Nim taking a wrench.
While Chasnoff is perceiving him stealing it, he's gonna cast ghost sounds coming out of fucking the wrench he's trying to steal. Woo! And while I see him reach towards it, I'll be like, haunted wrench, you don't want that.
Yeah. Roll me intimidation check to scare him away from stealing the wrench.
Yeah, it was a 9. It was 9 for spooky wrench.
Apparently that didn't scare you very much, so you can read that however you want.
I want your singing wrench.
Alright, Bernie's gonna be like, come on. You're not doing a good job on stealing this wrench. My friend.
Is that diplomacy to get your wrench back?
Oh, it was a 16 plus my Diplo is actually not shitty. 20.
Take it out of my pocket, and I go, woo, back at it, lick it, and back to him, and I said, it tastes okay, I like your wrench.
You have your wrench back now, Bernie.
Okay, so he throws it back in his pack. Chasnoff is very disappointed in the entire group, like he has been with Bernie this entire life. I don't know why it's you guys, but it's time we go.
You have enough mythic points left to take them somewhere and drop them off. Where do you want to take them for them to start their adventure?
Can I bring them back to the Spichemin's scrying place for one last thing, so we have a good idea of what our mission is?
You want to take them to Harlock's mansion? The governor's mansion? In Pont Vide?
Yeah, if you want to try, that's what we gotta do.
Here's my advice. You can do that, but you as Chasnoff will know if you do that, Cersei will know it happened. So you can do it, and that could also be like a middle finger to Cersei, I don't know. But if you take these people to see Harlock, Cersei will find out. Harlock and Cersei talk a lot.
Bring it back to the lobby of the off-the-plane gnome.
You can, but if you bring them inside the gnome retirement home, you're putting yourself at risk.
We might get into some shenanigans if we go back to my grandfather's house, but
I mean, I would assume wherever you're going to take them is where their adventure is going to start. So maybe think of it like that. Like, where do you want their adventure to begin?
So,
what
town of woods? Where are we right now? Southport?
Yeah, you're in Southport currently. You could easily just leave them here and you go home, and they could start their adventure here if you wanted to, even.
That's kind of what I'm going to start with. I'm going to ask my, hey, Sonny, you and your boys, do you mind, just walking around for a bit? I got to meditate in your shop.
Do you want to send everyone to a bar or something to, hang out and get to know each other?
To go meet and greet.
Yeah, we should definitely come up with a plan on where to meet if you're fucking off.
Jasnov is just Jasnov, who's not part of this game, meditating, where I'm gonna send y'all.
Let's decide as a group where the fuck we should go next, and then we can meet up with Chasnov later.
Like, go walk around the town for a minute.
See what happens in this town and who people are and what kind of buildings and businesses are. Or you guys can go to a tavern. Chasnov, if you want to stay here in Bernie's shop, is that what you're doing? You're hanging out here and like meditating?
He's gonna meditate for a hot minute towards his...
You're telling Bernie to lock up, get the fuck out of here, go hang out with these people, and come back in like an hour.
Yeah, believe me, I'll know where you go in an hour. Is what Jasnov says while he kicks everyone out.
Alright, so you guys basically have an hour to kill in this town.
I'm sure there's a bar nearby. I will find it.
There's a bright side tavern.
Don't do that.
Seems like Case with Chimmin wants to lead you guys to a tavern. As long as everyone's okay with that idea, you guys can all go to the tavern. Unless there's objections.
Totally cool.
I'm just sort of blinking and holding up here.
It is much brighter than what you're used to.
Yeah,
You're in an adjustment period.
okay,
Yeah. And even apart from where you come from, this is a very bright town. Like, a lot of things are painted white, so like sun reflects off of the buildings, and it seems very bright here. You guys can go to the bar, where it's still brighter than most bars, but darker than outside.
Is there anything I can purchase from this tinkerer shop?
You only have about 30 gold worth of spare parts that could be used for something within what Kay is talking about.
Yeah.
So if you want to sell those to Kay, you can, and then Kay would have 30 gold worth of gears and stuff.
If she wants that, I have no problem selling her all the gears and stuff she wants, and if she needs some help making them work, I have
You're
no
a tinkerer.
problem working with her.
I agree with that. Alright, let's go drinking.
Yeah, you guys go drinking. You can hang out in the bar. Drinks here are 5 silver each, so you can get 2 for 1 gold. Very good deal. Although it seems to be a very light lager, almost clear. It's water beer for sure, yeah.
Just some seltzers.
Yeah. It's going to take at least 10 of these to get drunk, but you can have them. So however many you would like to buy or share for everyone over the course of the next hour. Whatever you think you would spend on alcohol over the course of an hour, go ahead and subtract from your GP.
I asked the bartender if they have a closet or a basement or something I could just kind of hang out in for a little while.
Diplomacy.
I'm gonna jerk off real quick.
They seem reluctant to tell you anything about any place dark. They almost seem concerned that you ask about darkness. Seems to bother them you're looking for a dark place.
I'm a rat man, isn't it sort of logical? Like,
Why wouldn't you just ask for the pisser?
well, I'm not taking a dump.
I will say, because you're complaining, that the bartender will offer you to sell you shades.
Do they sell sunglasses?
Yeah.
How much are the sunglasses?
They're 50 gold, but they're really cool elven-made wraparounds.
They're 50 gold.
50 gold, but elven wraparounds, and they come with like a croaky thing. You can dangle it around your neck when you want to.
50 gold.
They're fantasy Oakleys. They're Folkleys. Fantasy Oakleys.
I asked if they're selling these for 30.
Diplomacy to convince them, appraisal to know they're worth less and to be an asshole about it.
I'll do a price. No. It's a 3, so it's like, what? It's like a 6 or something.
You've never seen anything like wraparound shades before, so maybe they are worth 50 gold, you don't know. But you can still roll diplomacy to haggle. That's still something you have the option to still do that.
Okay. No.
They seem pretty solid on the 50 gold for these elven-made Folkleys.
I buy them, so please.
Alright. Game 1, Splurge. You now have some cool wraparound shades with like a croaky back, so you can drape them on your neck if you want to. And you're now totally protected from bright lights, so you can put them on your eyes and walk around in the daytime and stuff without it bothering you.
Okay,
Since you're so used to the
weird
sewer.
about it. Okay. Alright.
And they have that cool, like, oil slick look around them. You know, it's not just black. They're, like, shiny and colorful when the light shines on them.
I'm looking slick, but I'm also looking like slick with like shit.
You look oily. You look greasy as hell. They'll throw in a free Big Johnson t-shirt or whatever from the 90s, whatever. Right? Comes with it. You get the whole ensemble.
Yeah, I got it fake now. No fear.
I'll give you a decal.
Tune in next time for more Constant Chronicle Chaosing!
This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.